Alright, so we got another absolute banger from Merriweather Designs, How Not to Write Romance, feat Naruto, and I feel like he's really about to go into detail about this terrible couple that is Sasuke and Sakura. I'm not gonna lie, Naruto and Hinata right there, but this is the dude that did the Bulma is in love with Goku video, which was peak, had a lot of Vegeta fans mad. I get it, but hey, it is what it is. Let's get into it because I can't wait to hear what bro gotta say.
Ugh. Brother, ugh. What's that? What's that, brother?
Hey everyone.
Okay, what was that first one?
5 tenets of romantic arc writing are as follows. Mutual
That makes sense.
affection, mutual
Development. Okay.
development, conflict,
These sound like they describe Naruto and Sasuke better than any other relationship in Naruto, bro.
chemistry,
Right.
and sacrifice.
Sacrifice. Yeah, they even put each other first in terms of like their desire to like get back at each other. Well, Sasuke was kind of convoluted with it, but all right, cool.
You
I'm
all
with
saw emotional abuse happen in part 2 of
Right,
Naruto.
right.
To fulfill the mutual affection tenet, the characters must not only be shown to like each other, but also reserve special care and treatment for one another when they have time to be alone. To fulfill this tenet, Sasuke would have to show Sakura a level of tenderness or care that he doesn't show anyone else in his life. He never does that for Sakura. Sakura, on the other hand, loses all of her core character traits the moment Sasuke is in frame with her, which I find disturbing. She's like a different person when she's alone with him, but not in a positive way. Her desires and goals fall to the wayside, and her entire character centers on serving Sasuke when they're together. In fact, the only person Sasuke seems to really care about is Naruto. And even then, it's in the antagonistic, I have to kill you sort of villainous way. Sakura's continued devotion to Sasuke doesn't make any sense because it begs the question, what good memories does she have of Sasuke for her to latch on to? Was it that moment from episode 2 where Naruto flirts with her while disguised as Sasuke? That'd be a good catalyst for her devotion to him, but she doesn't lean on that memory much, if at all. Like, it never really comes up again in Naruto, so it can't be all that important to her. Really, she just loves Sasuke because the author says so, not because of anything that happened to her character or because she evolved to become that way. While we don't see much of their relationship on screen, Kurenai and Asuma can lay claim to this tenet because they have shown a clear affinity for one another, especially as elaborated after Asuma's death. This particular tenet is hard to place in Naruto specifically, since the romances in this show usually don't go into a lot of detail on the early stages of said romance, where you get to see the contrast between their romantic selves and their everyday selves. But I thought I'd include them since they were close enough, and I don't want Minato and Kushina to hog the spotlight for these examples. This tenet involves the effect that two characters have on one another as they grow closer. The change doesn't have to be positive. A toxic relationship that's well written can be an incredible experience to engage in. Something that's bad for everyone involved but highly entertaining to watch.
Like Naruto and Sasuke.
Sasuke and Sakura can be interpreted to have a developmental effect on each other if you ignore the big orange elephant in the room. This guy. Naruto is the glue that holds Team 7 together.
He literally catalyzes everyone's development in the show, but especially Team 7.
Within Team 7, each member of it has their strongest relationship with Naruto.
Right.
He's the one that inspires their character development, just as they inspire his in different ways. Sasuke and Sakura's character development can be attributed mainly to their relationship with Naruto. Sakura resolves to be stronger and train with Tsunade, not because of her relationship with Sasuke, but because she had to put that burden entirely on Naruto since she wasn't physically up to the task during part 1. She does this because of how painful it was for her to see how badly Naruto was injured trying to fulfill this promise to her. Sakura's relationship with Naruto is the key motivating factor in her decision to become stronger. It's only about Sasuke in a sort of tangential way, not a direct one. Directly, it's more to help Naruto. Sasuke, on the other hand, becomes more selfless and collaborative over the course of part 1. But again, this isn't because of anything Sakura does, it's because of his rivalry with Naruto. This rivalry causes Naruto and Sasuke to grow and become more well-rounded people over the course of part 1, at least until the point of no return. Again, it seems that Naruto and Sasuke are the ones that fulfill the mutual development tenet of romantic arc writing.
Right.
Kishimoto is a coward, he should have gone for it.
I wouldn't hate it.
In closing, Sasuke and Sakura just fail to fulfill this tenet because if you examine their relationship in a vacuum, you'll find that it lacks both substance and a discernible foundation. You have to include Naruto's influence on the both of them in order to recognize this tenet, and that means that they're in a polycule or something.
Like a throuple or some shit.
Which they're not. A good Naruto example of this comes from Minato and Kushina's relationship. Kushina comes to love her hair, which she initially hated due to being bullied for it. This is because Minato was able to rescue her from a kidnapping attempt because of how brightly colored her hair was. This leads to her becoming more confident in herself and embracing who she is. Minato, as a result of his relationship with Kushina, comes to be less reserved personality-wise and is much more open with his emotions in the future. As in the early parts of their relationship, he was just kind of this polite and kind boy who didn't have much going on personality-wise. He was
right, like, and she didn't like him pretty much because of his personality before this point.
Kind of a stick in the mud.
Balance, like, a thing that's happening between them.
And also, while it was developing, you don't get points for doing the bare minimum, especially when the main story of Naruto ended over a decade ago. Props for actually doing it, but too little too late. And now they're trying to back end the relationship with sappy romance long after the core audience of Naruto has left the building. The only person Sasuke has chemistry with is Naruto.
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Kishimoto, if Naruto and Sasuke are gay, just blink twice. I know Shonen Jump has a sniper following you at all times. I won't tell anyone, I promise.
Do it! Just do it!
That aside, a good example of the chemistry tenet is Shikamaru and Temari. Both of them have an easiness about them in the way that they interact with each other. They're comfortable being themselves, and there's almost no awkwardness in their day-to-day interactions. To properly fulfill this tenet like they do, the awkwardness is only acceptable in either the early stages of the relationship, or if they happen to escalate the relationship to new levels of intimacy, be it physical or emotional. From day one, these two were always on the same wavelength and had just a connection that was very easy to see, and we knew that they would be together since part 1 of Naruto. It was that obvious. These two are just really cool, and everybody wanted them to get together. If you're not great at writing relationships, just show two people getting along and keep it simple. That's what Shikamaru and Temari did. The feeling clearly isn't mutual at any point after Sasuke leaves Konoha. You could maybe make a case when they were Genin, like when Sasuke goes sicko mode when the enemy ninja hurts Sakura in the Forest of Death, but that scene leans more into the implications that the curse mark is corrupting Sasuke rather than him being actually protective of Sakura, since he goes right back to being dismissive of her after this hug scene. It's not important. Their relationship does not change at all as a result of this scene, which leads me to believe that Sasuke was doing this for his own reasons and not necessarily to protect Sakura. Also, any camaraderie or protectiveness he had towards Sakura in part 1 is overbeaten Boruto, so that's off the table as well. I know he has his reasons, but the point I'm making is Sasuke never puts Sakura first. He moves at his own speed regardless of her desires or needs, and it speaks to a clear imbalance in their relationship. While Sasuke and Sakura get their first romantic scenes in Boruto, this should have been in the main story, not after they've been ostensibly married for like a decade.
It's not even that it's a bad relationship so much as it is just like an absolute nothing burger. I never would have expected them to actually write them getting together in the end. It seemed like a fantasy that Sakura was interested in. I didn't think they'd entertain it. I thought Sasuke would get with Kirin, honestly.
In the video, I said that there were 3 standout romances in Naruto. You have Jiraiya and Tsunade, Minato and Kushina, and you notice pattern here? Yeah,
Hey, look, Hey, look, I already know the same people that didn't like Goku and Bulma are not gonna like this one, but I like it. I like it. That's all I'm gonna say. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. It ain't a hot take. It's just an astute observation, bro. It's like bro tried to write himself out of sensibility and create the worst relationships on the planet. Wouldn't it have been cool if Hinata liked Naruto and Sakura liked Sasuke at first, but because of the conflicts going on and because I mean, Hinata was really supposed to die. They just, bro, it would have been peak, is all I'm saying. It would have been much more interesting writing, is all I'm saying, bro. I like this guy's channel a lot, bro.
Going there. In doing my research for this video, I was able to consume Naruto at a rapid pace as opposed to waiting weeks at a time for each installment of the story like I did the first time around. As a result, I was able to turn my writer brain on and I started noticing the overarching plot threads and setup techniques being used beyond the obvious parallels in Naruto and Sakura's relationship to, you know, Jiraiya and Tsunade or Minato and Kushi.
Exactly.
It let me see their relationship evolve in real time. Sakura goes from hating Naruto to respecting him to implicitly trusting him with her life, all over the course of part 1.
There's so much subtext that implies this relationship is not even funny. I can already see the comments right now.
In part 2, the relationship escalates again to the point where
It's not canon. They didn't write that. They never said that. All right, bro. You got it. You got it, bro.
Naruto is Sakura's closest friend. This investment totals up to about 2/3 of Naruto's duration. And the fact that this didn't happen either is a sign of executive meddling or narrative malpractice. And Kishimoto's not a stupid person. That makes the former much more likely. I'm blown away at how violently and suddenly the story changed gears to pivot Naruto away from Sakura after the Pain arc. But the story also doesn't do enough to properly position Hinata as Naruto's main love interest. As a result of this, Naruto and Sakura are also a prime example of what not to do in romantic arc writing, but for completely different reasons. They get boatloads of development and affirmation as a potential couple, but then are never put together. Basically, they have the opposite problem that the canon relationships have. It's also really funny to note that Naruto and Sakura hit all 5 of the tenets of romantic arc writing, but because they aren't ever allowed to discuss their issues in an intimate scene, they don't get to properly finish their arc, either agreeing to stay as just friends or agreeing to be lovers.
That's actually kind of true now that I think about it. I didn't even consider that.
Avoid this at all costs in your own writing and commit to your romantic arc. Otherwise, it's wasting both your time and the time of your readers. The Naruto-Sakura relationship is almost fully realized. It's literally 90% of the way there. Now, I'm not just gonna drop that thought on you without, supporting it with actual evidence. So let's take a look at a couple things. You see the B-roll footage going right now. The huge problem here is that they never had a follow-up to this fake confession scene. Because when you break that scene down, you start picking up small nuances that were definitely supposed to be followed up on at some point, but I think the follow-up scene to this ended up on the cutting room floor when Hinata was chosen as the final, endgame relationship. In that scene, there's a lot of nuance, and Sakura is shown to be lying about her feelings for Sasuke. However, everything she says after that is objectively true. Specifically, how Naruto's been there for her over the years, and on top of that, how much she cares about him, because she clearly does care about Naruto. And also, we have to mention the fact that during part 1 of Naruto, Sakura was legitimately Naruto's most active cheerleader, essentially. With all that said, here's where the nuance of the confession scene comes in. When you dig into her reaction when Naruto rejects her, this is the facial expression she makes. She's literally about to cry for a second. And then after that, she gets mad. Listen to her dialogue here.
So that's it? You think I'm lying to myself? I'm the one who decides how I feel, not you. If you hate me, just come out and say so. Don't make some lame excuse.
But it doesn't make sense. You left the village and came all the way out here just to tell me that?
Just to tell you. Just? Is that what you said? You think it's easy for a girl to profess her love like I just did? Yes, I came all the way out here. Of course I'd come as far as this.
That reaction...
I can already hear niggas telling me it's not canon right now, bro. I can literally already see the comment, bro.
doesn't line up with somebody who's just completely lying and BSing you in the moment. If everything she was saying was a lie, she'd have a more calculated approach to how she handles this situation, because her emotional appeal failed, right? So the next step is to go to a logical appeal and try to just simply convince Naruto to do what she wants. But as she switched from talking about Sasuke to talking about Naruto, she clearly got emotionally invested in what she was saying, and Naruto dismissing it caused her to lose her composure. Implication being that maybe there's some truth in there somewhere. And to close off this section, I want to leave you all with a little bit of an idea here. There was clearly supposed to be a follow-up to this, and I think in that follow-up scene, Sakura would have come to Naruto and said something along the lines of, "I only lied about one thing that day." Otherwise, it begs the question, why would they cut a follow-up scene if you could also use it to properly position Hinata as Naruto's love interest? That follow-up scene could have just as easily been Naruto saying that he just wants to stay friends with Sakura. But the scene goes mysteriously unaddressed. Basically, Kishimoto put too much sauce in this scene for him to come back to it and still put Naruto with Hinata. That's what my perspective as a writer tells me.
Oh, it is canon, bro. Is that not a manga panel? Unless that's fan made, which, my nigga, that don't look fan made. I'm not gonna lie to you. They still gonna act like they can't interpret subtext, bro. That's not even subtext. That's just literal text. This video's fire, bro. You gotta watch this one too. But hey, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Merriweather Designs, you be cooking, bro. I love your channel. I'm subbed on like on 2 other channels. This is just like an account where I'm signed out, or it's like a browser where I'm signed out. I love his channel. Let me know what you think about his theories and hot takes down in the comment section below. Like and subscribe for more. I will see you in the next video, gang. Peace.